Because everyone knows that the manager of the infamous Hart Foundation was the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, and he joins me on the After Chat right now on this date of August 13th, 2018. And Jimmy, I asked you to come on because today was the day we lost part of that Hart Foundation and part of everyone's favorite group growing up, Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
Wow, this was a tough one. All of them are hard, but this one's really tough from our era. And then, of course, a few weeks ago we lost Nikolai Volkov, and I was doing a personal appearance with him the week before he had to go to the hospital and passed away. But it's just so tough, especially with the Hart Foundation. When I first went to New York, well, first of all, in Memphis, Tennessee, was the first time I met Jim the Anvil Neidhart. He came in down there. I managed him down there. We billed him as a former Oakland Raider football star, which he really was. He played for Oakland and he played for Dallas, of course. And we had him down there in Jimmy Hart's first family. So we had about a year and a half run before I went to New York. And when I was in New York, when I first went there, I started out with, of course, Greg the Hammer Valentine and King Kong Bunty on the first WrestleMania. Then they gave me Jim Neidhart, who I was already familiar with from Memphis. And then a couple of months later, we added Bret Hart to us, and that's when we formed the Hart Foundation. And I still believe to this day that the work all three of us did that led to me later on having the Nasty Boys, the Rougeau Brothers, Earthquake and Typhoon, Terry and Dory Funk. And I'm so grateful to be with Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart.
Tell us about the personal side of Jim Neidhart, not the guy that you were with managing, but the times I was with him in the ring. Of course, he was this real tough, like UFC type of fighter. But outside, I found him to be he'd break his back to do anything to help anybody.
Well, you better believe he would, and what a good heart too. Of course, in Memphis, we got to meet his family down there, and he really loved his family. I'm just being honest with you. He was great, and we were traveling so much down there, 7 days a week that we'd go in the Memphis territory. But every night he'd make sure he called his wife on the phone. Pay phones back then, of course, no matter what hotel we were at. He always took the time to check in with him to make sure everybody was okay, the kids were okay, and his wife was okay. But he was great on TV. Everybody was scared to death of him because he was so convincing of his character.
Yes.
But really, in person, he was just a big old teddy bear.
I know a lot of people ask this kind of question, and it's a question that's just so common. But the match of the Hart Foundation with Bret Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart, what match of theirs do you remember most of all, being at ringside and guiding them in their matches?
Well, at WrestleMania 3, of course, in front of 93,000 people, we were against one of our favorite opponents, which was the Bulldogs, of course, and they had Tito Santana. And, of course, we had Neidhart and Bret Hart with Dangerous Danny Davis. And it was that six-man tag match, but WrestleMania was such a big night for us, too. And that was so special that night. Everything just going into it was so special, leading into everything that we did. But it's just all the matches, just being with him. I learned something every night from him because, Bret Hart was so precise in everything he did. What a smooth technician. And Neidhart was just kind of the opposite of it. But I think that's what made the tag team so special, is a lot of times you see both the same guys in the ring that do almost the same thing. But Neidhart was so different. He was kind of the enforcer. Yeah. And I remember one time we were doing Tuesday Night Titans with Vince McMahon, and I was doing a little musical bit. When I got off the stage, just out of the blue, Neidhart was so quick on the one-liners, and Vince goes, "Jim Neidhart, what do you think of Jimmy Hart's music?" And he goes, "Oh my God, I have all of Jimmy's CDs and tapes." I mean, just that quick,
Yeah.
And like I said, this one is a real tough one for me. It really is, because no matter where I go, whether it's overseas or here in the States, year after year on our personal appearances, on the Q&A things that we do around the country sometimes, the people always ask me, your favorite tag team, and they always bring up the Hart Foundation. Yeah. And all the tag teams I loved all of them. I was so blessed to be with all of them. But the Hart Foundation was always something a little special.
When was the last time you saw him or spoke with him?
Well, we were together at, this past year at WrestleMania. WrestleMania was on April the 8th,
Yeah.
and on April the 7th, I had a personal appearance with Bret Hart and Neidhart myself. It was kind of a Hart Foundation reunion
Yeah.
at WrestleCon. One of the afternoons, it was Saturday afternoon, and we went and we had.
I was there. I saw you there, and I posed for a photo with the whole Hart Foundation there. Yes, I
You sure
remember
did.
that.
You
Yeah,
sure did.
yeah.
And we had a great little reunion there. And then Neidhart and I, we went and did autographs together, and he was awesome. I mean, he was on point. We were talking about things that had happened in Memphis and things that would happen in, and of course, back in the WWE now, of course. And he was so sharp and witty, and the people just loved him. It was just, I don't know, there's something about his character that you really don't see a lot anymore, and there's just something very special, especially with him and Bret Hart together. I was so blessed to be with these guys. I mean, I really mean that, you know.
Just-
And like I said, this one's a real tough one.
Well, because you're one of the most creative people I've ever met in or outside the business, I'm going to hit you with a last question that I wonder what you would say. So if you sat down, spent a year writing the book about the life of Jim Neidhart in pro wrestling, what would you title it?
Wow, you know, the real deal. You know, like I said, a good family man, great partner to be with for Brett, myself, and him. And one quick story here. We were in Poughkeepsie, we were in White Plains, New York. And, of course, that was Arnold Scolin's town.
The Westchester
And,
County Center, yeah.
Yes, and before the match, the little referee that came in, and of course back then everything was done by the commission, you know, and the little commissioner came in, the little referee came in, he goes, look, whatever you guys do not touch my toupee. He had a toupee on. You could really notice it was a toupee. And he was refereeing, and he goes, whatever you do not touch my toupee. No matter what, don't touch the toupee. Okay, fine. No, we're not going to touch your toupee. So Brett and Neidhart were really late getting to the building. So as they were getting ready really quick, Neidhart was putting tape on his elbow pad on his right arm. And he was wrapping it so fast that some of the tape got turned around backwards. It was really sticky. And we went to the ring. We were fighting the Rougeau brothers, and they had Jock in the corner in the heel spot where the guys in the corner, the big faces in the corner. The referee gets in to break it up, but he's facing the turnbuckle and the baby face, and the heel throws the punch across the top, right? Well, the referee was really short, so when Neidhart threw the punch across the top, his elbow pad, when it went across, when he pulled it back, the tape that was twisted the guy's toupee and pulled it off in the middle of the ring.
Gosh.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
It was crazy. The Rougeaus jumped out of the ring. Bret Hart fell down laughing. I crawled underneath the ring. I couldn't stop laughing. The guy looked around, and it was hanging on Neidhart's elbow pad. and the audience, we had to stop the match. We go in the back, and Arnold called, well, y'all have done it this time. And it was an accident, really. And I think they tried to fine us, suspend us, and everything, but Arnold took care of the fine, and we didn't get suspended, and it was just an accident. But and Jim just looked like, well, I didn't do it on purpose, you know. He stuck his toupee to my tape, you know, that type deal.
Yes,
So,
yes.
but that was Neidhart. He was just so different, so special, and he is really going to be missed. And a coincidence, I was in, I saw Natty at one of the matches a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
And I saw it online, I just ordered a Hart Foundation T-shirt. It was me, Bret Hart, and Neidhart. And I've never seen that one before. It was licensed by WWE, but it was an independent people who put this out. And I happened to wear that to the meeting I had to go to, and Natty was there, and she goes, oh, my God. She told somebody there, she goes, look, that's my dad on the Timmy's T-shirt. And it's so weird that I wore that T-shirt for that particular day and saw her. But like I said, this is a real tough one for me and for the wrestling fans around the world.
It sure is. Jimmy Hart, thank you so much. And we'll be talking to you soon. Bill Apter with Jimmy Hart on the Apter Chat. We'll see you at the matches.